Hey, what's up? You're here for the secret to stronger head kicks? Okay, cool, yeah. Go ahead and get changed. I've got 15 minutes. Let's get this done.
Perfect.
So there's obviously a clear difference between landing really strong, powerful head kicks and like touching it. You know what I mean? Like getting it up there. What we want to do is we want to elevate from not only just getting it up there, but like bang, cracking it out and not having to worry about making sure it lands flush. But like if somebody blocked like this, it would still not be enough for your head kick. You know what I mean? I want to be able to crack it out there. And what's interesting is that Bruce Lee got a 100% right when he talked about how to throw attacks. And I'm going to tell you just how. If you put the water into the cup, it becomes the cup. We know that. If you put the water into the bottle, I will kick it. But if you put my foot onto your head, it becomes mush. But that's not because I've got these big old leg muscles. It's because I know how to use them to get from ground to noggin. When to strengthen, when to explode, and when to flow. So when I was talking about how Bruce Lee got it right, I'm talking about the be water, my friend. I like to think about kicks in general, or sort of all attacks really, especially head kicks, as a wave, okay? So in said wave, there's some movement that gets the water moving that way, okay? Now, the first step is actually a little bit different than a wave, because with a wave, you can't see what makes the water move, okay? But for this one right here, the first step to getting stronger head kicks is the explosiveness right out of the gate. I want you to be a sprinter with your kicks. I haven't warmed up yet. Maybe I should. I'm an expert, right? It doesn't matter. I'm professional. And I'm going to take my back leg and I'm going to explode towards the bag, okay? That's the first step. Super simple. I want to work on the explosion and throwing my hip forwards, okay? Getting strong kicks isn't about slow and steady, which is important for technique's sake. But once you've gotten the technique down and you realize that you're not hitting hard, it's about the explosiveness in the first step. So I want to be able to explode, and obviously they're not going to look like that, but I want to be able to really go from 0 to 100. Now I know this looks funny. I know it looks weird. I get it. But for step number 1, I really want to think about exploding and throwing this leg up there as far as I can, as hard as I can. I want you to go from 0 to 100. I want you to coil your muscles and sit here. Then I want you to explode out and throw that head kick. Now, once you do that, you'll realize that if you explode through the whole thing, it's not going to get as high as you want it to. That's where we have to go into our next step, part 2, where we take a completely opposite approach. Okay, now I'm going to start thinking about being flowy. I exploded in the beginning, boom. Now I want to let my leg act like a noodle around it. Ugh. Now this is in case you like have the good technique, but maybe you don't have the flexibility, or you're getting there, but it's not hitting very hard. Like once you get to a certain level of experience, you can throw explosive through the whole thing, in my opinion. But when you're getting started, if you're working through sticky points, I want you to be really flowy with this leg. And what I mean by that, it's no different than like throwing a baseball, right? Okay. Yeah, it's a lot like throwing a baseball. So think about the difference in shot put, a very explosive movement, and baseball, which has an explosive start, and then a flowing attachment, this limp. No different. I want to make my body explode, and then my leg go limp-ish. Okay, same thing with your arm. I'm still activating these muscles, but it looks different. Shot put, if I were to throw this, obviously it's a very explosive, powerful movement, but this ball wouldn't go as far. Okay, I only have socks. So if I were to shot put this sock, oh, it actually almost hit the camera. That was close, okay? But now, if I were to throw this like a baseball, where I'm less explosive, except for the beginning and the end, right? Way further. so much faster, and it got there, which means that I could probably shot put this at a way lower height than I could baseball throw it. Does that make sense? That's what I'm doing with my leg. So it's same but different, right? What I want to do is I want to explode with my body, let my leg go limp, this is my leg, and go like this, boom, until I make contact, okay? Sorta. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick, and I'm going to throw my hip forwards, and let everything get loose behind, and then attack at the very end. That's going to be part 3, but until then, I like my left leg better, so we're going to show that one. Ready? Here, loose, bang, until it extends at the end. Hopefully that makes sense, right? So this leads us to part 3. So at this point, we should already understand that a relaxed muscle is a flexible muscle. By allowing myself to relax through this longer upper movement, I can get a higher kick. Now, because of the momentum that I created with the explosiveness, the flexibility that I allowed by relaxing, I'm going to now emphasize that movement by leaving my leg, which should have been chambered the whole way, and exploding it and getting another movement at the end. Bang! So the third part is the contact, or the moment right before the contact. The moment right before that contact is when I'm going to, that's when I'm going to give it that flick, okay? Here, my knee is going to be behind my target. I'm not making contact yet. Then I'm going to push and flick at the same time. Okay, so I went like this. Boom, explode. Relax, relax, relax. Limp noodle in that chamber. Bang, push it across, okay? Now I can get this higher too, because I allow myself to get like, with my leg about halfway through. Up here close. Now, are these knockout kicks? Once you're that close, probably not. But they can be out here, or they can at least be jarring. Knockout kicks are usually like a surprise when they hit you, right? So just because they're a little bit softer doesn't mean that they can't smoke somebody. The fact they're surprising means that you're going to get more out of it than if you were like, and you put it down, right? Because I'm closer, I can hit with a little extra spice. So like obviously this is stronger way out here, but this they're not expecting. Now I'm not saying that you should do this, but it's a good way to practice higher kicks while still having power. So obviously strength, speed, and flexibility are all factors. But if you don't have the tools to put them all together, or you're missing a link, this is the key. Explosive start. A good beginning to get that movement going. Flexibility in the middle, not restricting yourself by thinking about flexing the whole time. Because a flex muscle is not a flexible muscle. We want to focus on boom, the contact point of the ground, and the contact point of the opponent. Right? Getting like a fast start, a strong finish, and then in between, let your leg get there. That will do it. I don't care if somebody's like this. I want my kicks to get to a point where if somebody blocked them, doesn't matter. So hopefully that does a good job of summing it up. You guys are a little sneaky today. Hopefully that helps. If you want more tips and tricks and you want more martial arts entertainment, make sure you like this, make sure you subscribe. If you want to support the channel, you want to join our Discord, and you want to get percentages off my courses, make sure you become a member down below, white belt, green belt, or black belt. All are appreciated. And you know the deal, if you don't subscribe, I'll kick you. Now this isn't necessarily head height, but for maybe you it is, okay? Bang! A D tier. Russian Kung Fu, it's not for me, you know? Yep, okay. I saw I needed to see. Yeah, System is D tier.